either love it or you hate it. But can you afford it? That's the real question. Wherever you fall in the great PS3 debate, you won't want to miss this episode. We're kicking the tires on Sony's next-gen console and running through launch titles from Tony Hawk Project 8 to Resistance Fall of Man. It's all happening right now on Cheat. Welcome to Cheat, where games are made to be cracked and fun is serious business. I'm Kristen Holt, and in this episode, we're all about the PlayStation 3. And we're ready to do what we do best, cheat. We'll open up everything from NBA 07 to Mobile Suit Gundam, but first, let's kick things off with the eagerly anticipated Tony Hawk Project 8. Tony Hawk's in town, and he's looking for a few good skaters. Do you have what it takes to make his team? Find out in Tony Hawk Project 8 for the PlayStation 3. The goal of this game is to outdo, outrip, and outshred the competition. The prize? A coveted place on Team Tony. Customize your character's look and wardrobe, and let the thrashing begin. The game plays just like its predecessors, with additional tricks and levels.
Wow, cool move!
So die-hard Tony Hawk fans will feel right at home. Nail the Trick is one of Project 8's brand new features. Use the sticks to flip your board. Once you're in the air, the left stick controls your screen left foot, and the right stick controls the right. The kick flip is a tough trick. Here's how to nail it. Ollie off a ramp and push the left stick down. Hold it there to keep your foot out of the way until the board rotates all the way around. When the grip tape points up again, release the stick to put your foot down on the board and land. Project 8 features an intense open world where you're free to rip through the streets or tear up a half-pipe. Throughout the game, you'll encounter real pro skaters like Rodney Mullen and My Name is Earl's Jason Lee.
Show me you can ride and I'll see what I can do to get you noticed by Tony and his crew.
With a little practice, you'll be busting out sick tricks in no time. I can totally skate like that. No, seriously, I just don't have my board with me today because, I'm working and everything, and I'm completely awesome at basketball, too. Those guys in the NBA, I take them to school and I eat their lunch. Well, in a video game, anyway. Here's how to rule the court in NBA 07. With slick graphics, new game modes, and a lightning-quick pace, NBA 07 goes full court press on the PS3's next-gen capabilities. The Showtime gameplay feature is back, with some major modifications. This year's Showtime focuses more on personal achievements and flash rather than teamwork. Performing alley-oops, dunks, no-look passes, block shots, and fast breaks will increase your meter. Once you perform 3 spectacular moves in a row, your team's energy, shooting, and stamina will receive boosts. On the other hand, if you cause turnovers, miss 2 shots in a row, or the other team calls a timeout, your meter will decrease. NBA 07 also has a new feature called the replay mode, which lets you relive exciting moments from last year's NBA season. Each week from the 2005-2006 season is highlighted by 2 challenges you must recreate. For instance, remember that great rally last year when Kobe Bryant scored 29 of his 34 points in the last 18 minutes of the game? This challenge is available in replay mode. Your goal in replay is to score 13 points with Kobe, including 2 two-point jumpers and 2 three-point jumpers. All right. I know what you're thinking. Coach Holt, but what about the new controller? Funny you should ask that. NBA 07 takes full advantage of the PS3's motion-sensitive 6-axis.
LeBron James.
During the offense, you can pull off some sweet moves using this controller. To do the stutter step, push the controller either forward or backwards. And how about the dreaded crossover dribble that was perfected by Allen Iverson? To quickly change direction on your defender, move the controller either left or right horizontally. Use this move to get past your counterpart for an easy J or a sweet dunk.
On our desk.
You can also pull off spin moves to get away from a defender. Twist the controller either counterclockwise to spin right or clockwise to spin left. With all these moves in your arsenal, you should have no problem slaughtering the competition. Bring it on, baby! Anybody up for a little samurai action? you're in for a treat. Genji Days of the Blade is up next on Cheat. But first, here's a quick cheat that might come in handy. Do you have the need for speed? Then pick up Ridge Racer 7 for PlayStation 3 for the ultimate adrenaline fix. Use your nitro to blow past your opponents, or get up behind them and draft their speed. Either way, make sure you know how to work a manual shift, or you're going to be stuck in first gear doing 20. Using the controller, steer the car, and by jolting it towards you, you can drop the hammer and shift the car into higher gears. Now all you have to do is learn how to use the horn. Welcome back to Cheat. All that cell processing power under the PS3's shiny black hood can sure make for some pretty pictures. And there's nothing like a lush, epic voyage through Japan's mythical history to push the console's graphics. Feast your eyes on Genji Days of the Blade. Welcome to Genji Days of the Blade, a game of reenacting the historically based and beautifully rendered battles of ancient Japan. Fortunately for us, modern Nihon was apparently forged from the smoking remains of epic samurai battles. Oh, and giant enemy crabs. Those too. Unfortunately for us, we'll have to wait a little longer for that most ballyhooed of crab bosses. There's a war of attrition to fight first. And boy, is it hell out there. In the Ichinotani Beach mission, you start out at the foot of a great battlefield. Thankfully, that field is much smaller than it looks. The environment may be teeming with fearsome enemies, but there are certain special fellows that you really need to pay attention to. You'll know them by the weird tilty antlers on their heads, and the fact that they appear on the map as yellow arrows. Defeat these guys, and you'll stop the enemy armies from spawning. Defeat the first of the hatty baddies that appears right in front of you. Not so difficult, right? Especially if you press L1 to use the Kamui Plane minigame. Okay, now defeat about 15 more over the next half hour. To activate successive phases of the battle, you'll have to kill enough enemies in certain areas, or run to the far side of the map. You'll know you've succeeded when you see a shortcut scene like this one. Yeah, man, I know how you feel. Here's some basic tips for staying alive over the course of the ensuing battle. Level your weapons up at the beginning. Work your way east and use Ben-K to knock down the fortifications. Keep an eye out for crates containing health and Kamui power-ups and use them judiciously. Do your best to limit the amount of fighting with the cannon fodder. The more you kill, the more will spawn, and you'll have wasted health and energy. Block and walk. It's slow, but effective in limiting damage. When health is low, you can restore it through item use and leveling up. Switch characters and activate super moves, as well as Kamui Plane battles strategically. Here's the last and most important tip. Don't die! Keep an eye on your health, because if you bite the dust, it's back to the beginning of Operation Krabby Freedom for you. And believe me, it's not a war you want to fight twice. So kill, kill, kill until you think the battle couldn't possibly last any longer, and you might rather just die and never see the fabled Crab King of yore. Then, and only then, will he show his mighty face. Ben-K will be your man for this battle. Why flip the crab over when you can just whack his face off? A few melee moves from Ben-K's club will crack the claws right off that sucker. Use the Kamui Plane minigame to further weaken his armor. A few more well-timed bludgeoning moves, and Krabby McCrabster will be in dire need of some Joan Rivers-style facial reconstruction. It's time to strike his weak spot for some massive damage, people. Poke him in the kisser and he'll drop. From his ruined body, you reap exciting new weapons and a delicious banquet of crab legs. Now, if only someone would just pass the base seasoning and butter. Now you can take Cheat with you anywhere you go. Just visit g4tv.com/podcast for clips of this and your other favorite G4 shows. We have plenty more PS3 games to show you, including Madden and Mobile Suit Gundam, but first, here's another handy quick cheat. War is hell. And in Call of Duty 3 for PlayStation 3, you experience that hell, fighting the Nazis through occupied Europe.
Nice work, boys.
Use your grenades, your Tommy gun, and anything else you can throw at the charging Germans. But when the Nazis get close, don't shoot them. Save your ammo and use your gun to knock them out. Tilting the 6-axis to the side, gun butts the nearest Nazi. And trust me, nothing feels better than knocking a kraut on his keister. Now it's time to liberate Paris. Welcome back to Cheat's All PS3 Blowout. If you thought Madden 06 was intense on your old console, wait till you see what it looks like on the PS3. The gameplay is faster and more intense, and this is the part I really like. It's even easier to fake out your opponent. Madden 07 gets a next-gen renovation for the PS3, and the bone-crunching fun is as intense as ever. Here's how to blow out your competition with an unstoppable offense. A quarterback has far more responsibilities beyond getting all the hot girls and picking up the biggest endorsement deals. It's his job to keep the defense guessing by mixing things up on the field. Let's look at your passing game. Your goal is to throw off the defenders by making them think you are running when you're actually passing. Throwing in situations like 1st and 10 or 3rd and inches will cause that. You can also call formations that have only 2 wide receivers and 2 running backs. As the defense attempts to stop the run, you can easily throw a touchdown pass. Another powerful tool to use during the passing game is play action. This play starts off by faking a handoff to the running back so the defense will focus on him. Meanwhile, you launch a pass to your receiver. Play action doesn't work too well on blitzes, so be careful when using this play or your quarterback will get sacked. When choosing a target to complete a pass, look for mismatches on the field. Match up your best receiver against the weakest defenders and watch them dart through for a touchdown. Avoid throwing the ball to the receiver if there's multiple coverage. It's the recipe for an interception, and we're not trying to be Drew Bledsoe. Don't forget about precision passing, which is done with the right analog stick. To lead your players, simply move the stick right or left. Move the right analog up to throw the ball high, or avoid interceptions by throwing low. You can also lob the ball by tapping one of the pass buttons. Lobbing works best when throwing the pigskin down the field. Throw bullet passes for hook routes by holding down any of the pass buttons. Passing is great, but this year's Madden has an improved ground game as well. Just like the passing game, your goal is to be unorthodox in order to throw off your defenders. Run in situations like 2nd and 20 when the other team is obviously thinking you're going to pass. You can also trick the defenders by running the ball while using a 3 or 4 wide receiver set. If a team is heavily stacked on one side, flip the play and run the other way. Remember to take advantage of your running backs too. Use the beefy and stronger backs to plow through the middle while using your faster backs to run the outside. Don't forget to use the spin, juke, stiff arm, and trucking moves to avoid oncoming defenders. They put these moves in the game for a reason, people. Finally, use Madden's new lead blocking feature to your advantage. Before snapping the ball, cycle through and select the fullback by pressing L1. After you hike the ball, clear a pass for your running back. You can either pancake the defender by pushing your right analog up, or cut his legs out by pressing the right analog down. Press circle to gain control of your running back and head for a touchdown. Hopefully these tips help you score a ton of points, and you'll be heading for the playoffs in no time. We'll have more from the mighty PS3, including Mobile Suit Gundam and Resistance Fall of Man, when Cheat returns. But first, here's another of those quick cheats that all the celebs are talking about. Seriously, Paris Hilton, she loves them. She says they're sexy. In PlayStation 3's NBA 07, you can lead your favorite franchise to the championship or create your own player and watch them dominate Kobe. Shooting, passing, and defense are the foundations to any good player, but someone who knows how to handle the rock will make his team great. Using the 6-axis controller, you can stutter step, cross over that dribble, or just fake out your opponent and drive. Not all of us have that outside shot. But learn these moves and you'll be dunking on LeBron in no time.
LeBron James hits the two-pointer.
The camera or TV.com. Always fresh, always new, always plugged in.
Welcome back to Cheat's PS3-a-Palooza. The American workplace is getting so much more casual. If you're a guy, you probably almost never wear a suit anymore. But if you had a mobile suit with a cannon mounted on your head, oh hell yeah, you'd rock that. Mobile Suit Gundam Crossfire is equal parts action and strategy. The action's more fun, but the strategy elements are crucial. Knowing which mech advancements are beneficial can make a difference between life and an exploding mobile suit.
Mission failed.
First, pick up some extra pilots in mobile suits so you'll have some running mates. Hey, you gotta have friends.
Enemy intrusion. Intercept immediately.
If you're playing for the Zeon forces, your mobile suits will naturally be weaker compared to your enemies. Concentrate on upgrading your defense and weapon attributes. If you play a Federation hero, you'll start the game with good armor. So concentrate on improving your weapon stats for more ammo and attack stats for stronger weapons. The combat here is quick and deadly. Good reflexes just aren't enough. Here are the techniques you can count on in a pinch. Spot an enemy mobile suit from far away, start sniping away at their legs, and you'll literally bring the enemy to its knees. Caught in a close-range slugfest? Target lock your victim and strafe sideways with your handheld cannon. Unload your head-mounted Gatling gun at the same time to unleash twice the damage. Fly towards your target full throttle and bust out your beam saber. One quick thrust once you're in range will do the trick. Remember, when two heavily armed robo-warriors fight, there's only one real winner. And that's you, the gaming public.
We owe you one.
Imagine a world where World War II never took place. Neither did the Great Depression, and Russia never had its communist revolution. That's the world of resistance, fall of man, and it seems like a nice place to live. At least until the chimeras show up. There goes the neighborhood.
Welcome to the end of the world.
It's the 1940s. The brutal chimera war machine has taken most of the world by force. You're an American soldier sent to aid the British against the chimera onslaught and defend humanity's last line of defense. Welcome to Resistance, Fall of Man. There's one requirement in the Battle of Manchester. Survive, and we're here to help you do just that. The first thing to remember is to keep moving and keep shooting. This, above all else, will help you stay alive. This map is full of walls and barricades to hide behind, but don't count on those being effective all the time. We'll get to that later. The basic enemy infantry unit is a hybrid. Grenades are very effective against them, especially in large numbers. Remember, the more you kill, the more health they drop for you. So kill, kill, kill. The bullseye rifle can be very effective against enemies taking partial cover in the rubble. To use this gun, aim at your enemy and pull the L1 trigger. You'll shoot a homing tag, which will enable you to hit them no matter where you're aiming. If things get too quiet all of a sudden, beware. It's a sure sign that you're about to be swarmed by a horde of nasty spider-like creatures known as leapers. Try to keep your distance while you pick them off. Blast them with the carbine while you continually circle around, and don't let them get too close or you'll regret it. Take care when you're attacked by steelheads. They use a special rifle called an auger, which can pass through surfaces like barricades. Watch out! You'll know when you're about to get hit when bright white circles appear on the walls. Get out of the way quick. The more surfaces it passes through, the more powerful it gets. Once you kill the steelheads, pick up the auger and make them pay. As an added bonus, the auger also allows you to create an electromagnetic barricade that only you can shoot through. Enemy fire will be blocked for as long as the barricade lasts. When passing through alleys and meadows, beware of mines. There are two varieties, spike mines and concussion mines. Spike mines just need to be destroyed before they explode. The concussion mines, however, will detonate at different levels, so react accordingly. When you reach the final stage of Manchester, again, the key here is to simply stay alive. Grind your way through the enemy troops. The Chimera will drop reinforcements, so try to make short work of them and save your strength for what's coming next. Collect as much health and ammo as you can to prepare yourself for one of the Chimera's most formidable weapons, the Stalker. When engaging the Stalker in combat, try to stay moving. When not in motion, duck for cover as much as possible. If you continue to move, the Stalker's fire will most likely not catch up with you. The Stalker's only vulnerable area is directly behind its head. It will try to protect it by always facing you. Let your fellow soldiers distract it while you sweep around and tag it from the back with your bullseye. Now you can shoot it from any vantage point and still do damage. When you've done a significant amount of damage, the Stalker will begin a missile barrage. Take cover. When the barrage is over, hit it again with the auger from the front. Your fire will amplify through the Stalker's body and hit it where it counts. That's all for now. I hope you had fun exploring the newest games for the PS3. If you missed any of these tips, visit us on the web at g4tv.com/cheat, or you can write to us at cheat@g4tv.com. Until next time, I'm Kristen Holt, and you've been cheating.